when the most money is flowing into Bitcoin and the entire industry, altcoins are going up. Bitcoin's going up when altcoins are gaining dominance. That just means interest is high. People are just buying everything. And they're buying Bitcoin. What alt season really is just an indicator for how much interest there is in crypto. So it's good for everybody, guys. It's good for everybody. In yesterday's video, we discussed that Gary Gensler had confirmed that the Ethereum spot ETF approval process is, quote,
"It's going smoothly. It's smoothly functioning."
We also discussed that when the Ethereum ETF is approved, that likely will result in more altcoins being listed on Wall Street. Those words were validated today because VanEck has officially filed for a spot Solana ETF. And I'm sure the Bitcoin maximalists that were watching yesterday's video were not happy with my words. But guys, on this channel, we're trying to get a better idea of what the future may hold. And so when I say things like that, it's because I actually mean it. Also, more news, the Supreme Court has ruled that the SEC's use of in-house judicial processes to bring charges is unconstitutional, and that was followed up with Coinbase officially suing the SEC. FDIC accusing federal regulators of trying to cut out the crypto industry. So today's news cycle is pretty hot for crypto, and also we've been discussing on this channel the breakdown of the parabolic trend. It's pretty clear. I mean, it's no longer exponential. We just have a slightly higher low. We have broken the parabolic trend. Now, just to recap on my thoughts about this for those that may have missed it, the parabolic trend happened. The call that we made on this channel over a year ago, well, it actually did play out. The higher lows were exponential. That is a parabolic trend, but we broke out of it early. We didn't get the textbook finish. We've broken the trend after base 4. So because we broke the trend at base 4, we never got a vertical push. We probably won't be getting a vertical downturn either. And so my conclusion is that Bitcoin sitting at the all-time high zone, we have this all-time high range as sort of a new support right here. We're likely going to consolidate in this range before breaking out. And while we're consolidating, this is going to allow the altcoins to pick up steam. Alt season may actually take place very soon. And the reason why I came to that conclusion is because if Bitcoin broke the parabolic trend and is looking to go sideways in this range and consolidate, while the leading altcoin, Ethereum, is actually sitting in an exponential trend. So this is likely going to be the point where altcoins begin to catch up with Bitcoin. The narrative was with Bitcoin since the beginning of 2023. BlackRock applying for the ETF being approved, the halving, all these things led up to this point. And now it is time for the narrative to switch. Gary Gensler basically confirming that the Ethereum ETF approval process is going smoothly. The narrative is no longer just with Bitcoin, it's with Ethereum. And then subsequently, it will go into the other altcoins, such as this headline right here. Going back to Ethereum on the weekly, like we discussed in yesterday's video, that this candle, which was red yesterday, would likely turn into a bullish hammer. That's what we said in yesterday's video. Here it is. And also, we talked about that Bitcoin dominance would likely begin to come down. Looking at the weekly, it is starting to come down. We haven't really gotten a lower low just yet, but we have broken the trend line and we do have lower highs, and Ethereum is once again in a nice trajectory on this trend while Bitcoin is looking to go sideways. Bitcoin dominance is likely going to begin coming down, and that initiates alt season historically. We are in the perfect spot, hitting the multi-year macro resistance line, which is usually where we get alt season to begin. So it all just kind of makes sense, right? If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it probably is a duck. So that's kind of how I'm seeing this right now. Looking at the Ethereum to Bitcoin pair, we can see that Ethereum has had a nice push up against Bitcoin. And we are now meeting the trend line, the resistance trend that stems back August, September of 2022. So this has been a long downtrend, and we are nearing a macro bullish pivot for the Ethereum to Bitcoin pair. Now, going back to Bitcoin, we can see that we have hit the oversold level on the daily RSI. And like we discussed in past videos, hitting the oversold levels is a signal to the bigger players, the long-term players, the people that are most confident, have the most money. When Bitcoin is oversold, for all of those players, this is the point where they buy. We usually don't spend too much time sitting at these oversold levels. Bitcoin on the daily chart is also showing higher lows and a lower low on the RSI. That is hidden bullish divergence, which is starting to play out now. On the daily chart, the next major signal for Bitcoin is going to be the RSI down trend line and breaking out of the RSI down trend line. This is something that Bitcoin is commonly using as a breakout signal. The last time that we had a major breakout on the daily RSI, I'll just mark it up, you can see right here, that's when we had our major breakout going from 42,000 all the way up to 70,000. When was the last time we had the RSI breakout signal? It was right here, and Bitcoin began to trend up. These are all very reliable, very useful signals, right? They always come right before a major breakout. And so Bitcoin on the daily is currently far away from getting the RSI breakout. And that's why I'm talking about the possibility or the likelihood that Bitcoin is going to be looking to create a sideways consolidation in this range before breaking out. And it seems quite obvious now when you look at the RSI, you can see, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of work for us to reach that 50 level, probably get resistance around that point, come back down, and then look to break out maybe August, September, something along those lines. Bitcoin has had a fantastic past year or more, and it's just going to take a little bit of time for us to reach that RSI breakout signal, right? We're all the way just coming up out of the oversold level. It's going to take some time, guys. So while that's happening, it's just a great setup for the altcoins. That's why I'm talking about it. Bitcoin settling up at the all-time high level is likely going to be fantastic for the altcoin market. Finally, they may catch up. And a lot of people might be thinking, why isn't Bitcoin going up? What's wrong with Bitcoin, or whatever your idea? People say all kinds of things like that. Remember, this is the 10th or 11th week after the halving, and normally it takes 30 to 40 weeks after the halving in order for Bitcoin to start trending above the all-time high. In the past, it wasn't immediate. So Bitcoin's in a great spot. 10 weeks after the halving, consolidating along previous all-time high levels, maybe gearing up for an all-time high break in a few months. I mean, we're pretty much right on track. And also for the altcoin market, the total 3, this is the altcoin market cap. If you look, we're in the same exact structure as the last cycle. We had a peak, a lower high, a major dump into an accumulation range with a break of the resistance, followed by a consolidation. Going to where we are now, a peak, a lower high, a major dump, an accumulation range, a break of the resistance, and a consolidation. The setup is literally a spitting image of the last cycle. And it's not only that, it's the timing as well. From the peak to the consolidation zone, it's about 140 some weeks. And now going to the last all-time high for the altcoin market cap to where we are, it's about 138 weeks. Right? I mean, it's right on time. Everything's pretty much on track. The only thing that's happened that's different is Bitcoin touched a new all-time high earlier than usual, but Bitcoin trending above the all-time high 30 to 40 weeks after the halving is the usual time period. So everything's on track here, guys. Nothing's wrong. The high cap coins, Solana, Chainlink, AVAX, they're all up from their October lows. All the top coins, Avalanche, way up from the October low. Chainlink, way up from the October low. Solana, way up from the October low. BNB, Binance Coin, way up from the October low. So all the top coins are doing well. High market cap coins, they're doing at least decent. The low caps, they're not doing all too well. But I think now's the time where all of that starts to change a little bit. I think that we're going to start to see just more interest in the altcoins, Bitcoin dominance coming down as Bitcoin most likely goes sideways and consolidates in this range. So it is that time of the market cycle where things will temporarily shift to other assets, I believe. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just what seems obvious to me. And then Bitcoin will take the lead once again. Once it's ready to go, shift back to Bitcoin. Then after that, shift back to the altcoins. And it's always a dance. And that's just how this market goes. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and be sure to sign up with Kraken Pro using that link below. There's a lot of cool analytics widgets that you guys should be checking out. And last but not least, join my Patreon. There are limited slots. There's an annual discount. You can only get in my Discord by being a Patreon member. Join today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.